morning, Jean. So glad to see you.
Good morning, Vicky. Thank you so much for the time this morning to have a conversation.
You graduated about 12 years ago with your PhD from the school and have had just an amazing career already. Now serving as the Vice President for Global Thought Leadership for AARP. Can you tell us some about your career path, how you got from SPA to where you are now?
I knew that I wanted to get my PhD in public policy and public administration, and I was looking to a university and a school that had the caliber of faculty that was well positioned to really help drive both national and state level conversations. And I was thrilled to come to the School of Public Affairs. What has helped me in the course of my career has been the fact that the program and the faculty have always pushed out this question, so what? So you've done this research, you've raised this question, you've looked at the data, so what? And I think that as we kind of think about the major uh, challenges and also a lot of the opportunities that's before us, being able to answer that so what question is what's going to really break through the quote unquote noise in terms of just the overwhelming amount of information that's out there, but also to create the opportunities to think about how do we co-create solutions in order to address what we're learning through our research.
You're right to point out that, we want our students to really understand you have to leave the paper and think about how you're going to take this out and implement it and take it forward into the world and in others' experiences. And I think that's a really nice point you make. And I'm glad you chose us over whatever other university you were considering.
It was one of the best decisions of my life. And clearly, I can tell you that how I got to AARP was because of American University. My professor at the time, Dr. Laura Langbine, received an email from one of the directors within the Public Policy Institute at AARP. And because she knew that I was studying issues around aging and Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, some of the major entitlement programs, she said, "Hey, Jean, I received this email from Elizabeth, who oversees the long-term care team at AARP. I know that you're interested in aging, and this would be a great opportunity for you to go intern with them." And that is what actually started my journey at AARP. So it's not just the fact that the faculty are just well renowned in their ability to produce stellar research, but they're also connected with the major institutions, government agencies to really help invest in the career trajectory of their students in a way that I don't necessarily think other universities have been able to model to the extent to which I've seen from the School of Public Affairs. So my first internship in Washington, D.C. was at AARP. And then the year after my summer internship, as a result of the connections with American University and the School of Public Affairs, I was invited to apply for a policy analyst position.
That's how it all started.
And that's how it all started. 12 years later, now I'm the senior vice president. So again, you can kind of really kind of connect the dots in a very meaningful and significant way.
That's fantastic. That's a great story. So let's talk about your time in SPA. Have any big memories from that time there?
There were many moments, and I think many PhD students could relate to this, especially the first semester, where you're like, am I made to do this? Do I have what it takes? There were many moments where I thought that I was going to, say, what, I'm calling it quits. And every time I went to go see Bob, who at the time was helping with the students and things of that nature, he would not even hear me. I would go see Dr. Langbine or Dr. Jack Newitz. They'll say, "Gene, that paper you did was excellent." Or, "Gene, we want you to go and to this policy forum and highlight some of the work that you've been doing." So they saw something in me that I did not see in myself. So that is one of the wonderful lessons that I learned, was the fact that is how do you build community in a new environment while you're not even sure that you're able to succeed, but you have been surrounded by a group of stellar major influencers in their own rights of researchers who see something in you that you did not see in yourself.
No, it's so often our PhD students don't understand that they're going to feel like that at times. And I've always tried to remind them about everyone who's willing to admit it. At some point, that first or second semester was like, I'm going to tag out now because I'm not sure. And you have those questions. And I'm glad you said that because I think it's important for students to know that happens to everyone and it's
Mhm.
okay. Keep
It's okay.
going. I want to talk with you a little bit about leadership right now. We know that, as you mentioned, we're in a time of great transition and um, many are struggling. It's a tough time. And how do we lead effectively during these times? How do we lead within our organizations? How do we teach people to lead? How do we think about leadership at a time of true crisis in our country and in each of our lives?
I think part of leadership is understanding and being empathetic to where people are, while at the same time trying to leverage and navigate and support and encourage them to where we need to be. Part of that requires a significant amount of listening, listening to what's being said, but also what's not being said. It is connecting. I think that we are at a crossroad as a society, and we have, frankly, two options. One is to look at where we are today as leaders and to say whether or not are we satisfied with the current status quo? Are we satisfied? What are we learning from this experience that will actually make us stronger? Because out of every disaster, there's an opportunity and a new dawn. I think that the other aspect of this is really to start to do some of the deep work that's required for really to really ensure that we're in a better position moving forward. So it's listening, it's being empathetic, but it's also being laser focused, understanding what are some of the lessons from this and how do we take those lessons and really create a new uh, environment. So I do think that periods of crisis provides us with a spotlight as leaders because your family's looking to you, your students are looking to you, your team is looking to you, and they're looking to you for guidance, they're looking to you for direction, they're looking to be heard, they're looking to be seen, they're looking to be recognized, and they want to know that what they are going through matters and that they're not in this by themselves.
I think that's definitely true. I think the way we talk about ourselves as leaders will change now because we will talk
Mhm.
about it in those different buckets
Mhm.
of the times. So, well, I thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to get to speak with you. So grateful for the ways you give back to SPA. I'm thankful that you serve on our board of advisors and just truly do appreciate your time today and your words. I've taken a lot from them. So thank you very much. And I look forward to visiting with you again soon in person at some point
Absolutely.
in the new normal and the new dawn. But thank you and do be well.
Well, thank you so much, Vicky. I really appreciate all of that you're doing and the entire team within the School of Public Affairs. It's an amazing community, and it's one that I'm extremely fortunate and honored to be a part of.